Here in the UK, the state pension and a number of means-tested benefits like universal credit increased by 3.1% today, but a leading poverty charity says with inflation expected to hit 7.7% this morning, that's actually a fall in real terms in payments. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation says it's the biggest drop in the basic rate of out-of-work benefits in 50 years. Let's talk to Sarah Spoor. She is a full-time carer who looks after her two adult sons, both of whom have complex health conditions. And Sarah is in receipt of universal credit. Sarah, thank you very much for talking to us. Just tell us how tough it is right now for you and your family.
Well, the carer's allowance, which I get, has gone up £2 a week, which means I now get 41.4p an hour. We lost £3,000 in universal credit when the £20 uplift was reduced. And then I've also learned that the money that we get for the warm home discount, we may well lose that this year, because 300,000 people who are on disability living or PIP will lose that benefit. And I haven't worked out how to access the local council, the money that the government have moved to the local councils. I haven't worked out how to access that. My support worker doesn't know anything about it, and the website looks very complex to join.
Right, that's the Household Support Fund, I think it's called, which is supposed to, which the Chancellor announced would be helping really vulnerable families who were struggling.
Well, I couldn't work it out, and I'm fairly able and able to ask people to help me. So I don't know how many people who are less able would be able to do that. Yeah. There was no front page that says how you qualify. It was just pages and pages of forms to fill. Rishi Sunak's loan for energy discount is a loan. It's not a discount.
Well, you'll get 150 quid off your council tax bill, and then in the autumn, a 200 quid loan, which we'll have to pay back at some point.
And I think everything has gone up. I haven't looked to see how much universal credit has gone up, but it will only be a few pounds. But all the costs have gone up. I mean, my heating bill, bearing in mind I barely had the heating on over the winter, has gone up from something like £80 18 months ago to 200. And so, I've been scared to have the heating on. And I know a lot of my friends who are carers who maybe just been caring for one adult as opposed to two, have even less to spend, and they're certainly deciding whether to eat or heat. We used to get gluten-free food, for example, on prescription. That's now stopped because we're told we can get it in the shops, which we can do, but gluten-free food is at least double the price. Myself and my son have celiac disease.
So do you know, Sarah, what the difference is between what you're getting in and what you're having to spend?
I haven't looked at that, but I'm just noticing that all the food shopping's gone up. And so when I have got some extra cash, then I'll tend to buy more than I need. So, try and future-proof the prices going up. Sure.
You said you were scared to put the heating on, so you are choosing because you have to be cold.
Yes, because I can't. I'm paying monthly on direct debit, but it's still scary. I just don't know what it's going to be, and I'm just sort of thinking ahead for October. So, I'm just trying to balance the books, and it's not possible. And I know that there are other people who are even worse off. Friends that I've got on Twitter every Thursday. We do a hashtag "What Makes a Carer Cry," and it's talking about this kind of issue.
The Chancellor says, the government says, because they've altered the universal credit taper, that means you will be able to keep more of your money. Although that doesn't apply to you because you're not working, actually, I've just realised.
Yes, well, that's the thing. So when he was wheeling off all the benefits, it's not a benefit for us because we're not working. Some of us don't pay council tax or pay a reduced council tax, so the £150 doesn't necessarily benefit us either.
So when he talks about they've boosted the minimum wage, they've cut fuel duty, they've raised the national insurance thresholds, none of that applies to you?
Correct. And also we've lost out, all carers have lost out on our support over the pandemic. most of us are still shielding. We've been shielding for 26 months now. And so if you can't have the heating on, it just makes life even more miserable than it already was. And if you're scrabbling around for pennies and deciding which product food you can buy, we barely eat meat. My boys do sometimes. I cook everything from scratch. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't have a car. What else can you cut? There just isn't really anything. I already buy all the basic brands of canned foods, or I could maybe start soaking my own chickpeas, but then when you're caring all the time, you don't have necessarily time to do that.
If the Chancellor was watching right now, if the Prime Minister was watching right now, what would you say to them?
Well, none of the benefits that they've offered us are a benefit. And when he goes on about the warm home discount, most of us already will be claiming that anyway, so it's nothing new. So the cost is, we've already accounted for that as a discount, over previous years. But just, it's all talking about working people, and I'm working 168 hours a week, as are all other carers across the country. And we're exhausted, we haven't got support. And so I'm going to cry. There's just no end to it. It just goes on and on.
I'm really sorry, Sarah. And I hope they are watching.
I hope so.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.